started. We have Barry Woods here, who we have to settle because I couldn't get his brothers Tiger and James. Bet he's never heard that one before.
Yeah, and James and I share the same politics. Not. Guy's such a right-wing fascist.
Every time he comes in, he loves talking to me, and he's always like, yeah, when I went to MIT. I'm like, dude, I'm Asian. I get it. You're better than, I wish I went to MIT. My parents would love me more.
I worry about people that constantly have to throw something in your face, whether it's their religion, their education, their IQ. It's, we get it. Are you afraid of it? Are you not convinced yourself of your intelligence? Why do you keep bringing it up? So
I wish I went to MIT. I don't care about the actual education. I wish people thought I did. So
just say you did. You're Asian. They'll think you did.
Yeah, I don't look like the type. But Barry is a super classy guy because he listens to classical music. Shouts to Vivaldi.
There you go.
And he's never been blocked on Twitter. Just kidding. Okay,
until recently.
Yeah, until recently.
Well, no, I got blocked by Negreanu, and I was in Twitter jail twice.
So what happened with the Negreanu block? Why did he block you?
I think it started with his choice bullshit that he has, that fucking cult that is, I guess it was Las Vegas, and a few people, Sorrel Mizzi, some friends, were doing it a few years ago. I'm not even sure what. Yeah, Choice Center, and it's great for Negreanu, but I was calling him out on it. That A, first trying to sell people on it, stop trying to sell people on it, and B, it's not all that in a bag of chips. So just he's such a shill for everything. That's what basically I think I said. Whether it's that or Poker Stars or more rake or all the bullshit, he is just whether he's paid for it or not, he's just a shill, and that's so I think he resented me calling him a shill. And I think I said something about his wife.
Yeah. Whoa. Okay. And then you and Matt Berkey got it on, and then he blocked you. What was that about?
I'm a fucking prince. These people blocked me. We mentioned about having. He said something about betting on the World Series to somebody else. It might have been Matt Salzberg. Do you want him in the World Series? So I chimed in, as trolls usually do, and I said, you want to bet the World Series? You pick who you want. I'll take the field, and I'll give you 10-1. After he finished laughing, so you're a real gambler. So then I upped it some and made some other comments. I said, this conversation is over. And then I think he blocked me. It is what it is.
I won't block you.
These guys need to have a sense of humor. We were talking about that earlier. Some people just take this shit way too seriously. And it's not. I mean, even if it is, if you're a professional poker player and this is your life, you need to still inject humor into it. You can't just,
Or you're in for a really rough ride.
Yeah, that's what's going to make poker miserable for your life. And you got to, just going to tournaments, coming back, you go to some beautiful cities all over the world, but the people never get out of the casino. They don't go a week early and do stuff. They just go play their tournaments and get out. Half the people in Barcelona for the EPT Barcelona, I guarantee you're not going to go around and see it. It's my favorite city in the world. I've been to 8 billion countries. It's a beautiful city with a lot to offer, and people just don't see it.
They're always like, last orbit. For 12 times in a row.
One more hand.
Yeah. All right, let's get to the Barry Woods story because a lot of people don't know you.
Gotta consider yourselves lucky. My wife wishes she could talk about being in the same group. What do you want to know?
I don't know. You answered it here, so what's...
My story or my poker?
First your story. I was born the son of a poor...
Black sharecropper? Yeah, well, okay. You make it sound like that's something wrong.
No. You're a talented storyteller. Go ahead.
No, I was just, you may have put it on the computer, I forget the bullshit that I spun. I was just raised in West Los Angeles, West LA, grew up here. Seriously, you're moving it over here. Yeah, okay, I pretty much got that.
Yeah, okay.
And went to school in UCLA, University High.
Now you're name dropping schools. Next thing you're going to say UCLA is higher ranked than UC San Diego.
At the time I went to it, it wasn't my first choice of schools. They were just opening UC Santa Cruz, so I applied for the first class, and they just said, fuck you, you're not coming in. So I said, okay, what's a backup school? Where's, if I can't go to that, besides University of the Pacific, let me try UCLA. So I got into UCLA as an undergraduate and did my 4 years there. And
Then they let you out.
they let me out. I have my degrees in political science and Scandinavian literature, two really good subject matters. Then I went working various jobs. One of them was at the William Morris Agency, which is now William Morris Endeavor. It was to become an agent, theatrical agent. Apparently they didn't like my sense of humor and my attitude, so after a short time, they decided to show me the front door. And so I was unemployed for some time, but having a great time. My parents lived in the marina, so I would hang out there every day playing beach volleyball. One of the guys, I wish I could think of his name, old age, I forget all the shit. He was the lead attorney in the Deep Throat case for Linda Lovelace. So he had a lot of free time. And then the other guy lived in the area who's the president, I think, of Sinclair Paints, one of the paint companies. So it was he and this other long-haired guy who was a really great volleyball player. So we played 2-on-2, like every day. When that wasn't, we'd surf, that, do whatever, hanging out at the beach day in and day out. Finally got to a point where I needed money, and so I started cleaning my parents' condo. Then I cleaned my brother's house and my other brother's house, and started a company. And while I was starting the company, I decided, well, I don't want to be a janitor my whole life. And I applied to graduate school and actually got two of the agents from William Morris to write recommendations for me. And I got in undergraduate school in education.
Wow.
And graduated there, was offered a teaching position at the school I'd done my student teaching, which was great because it was a Title VII school, so they had more money than God. They could do anything with these kids. There was like 37 ethnicities and languages. So, but I said, well, I started my business. I can always go back to teaching. So I continued my business and never looked back. I ended up hiring or going in business with my two brothers. When one graduated, the other one quit being a stockbroker. They joined me, and the company was ongoing. We got in some arguments, so I bought them both out and ran the company. And then when I wanted to retire about 15 years ago, I hired my brother back. He was working for a law firm. He came back to sort of run the company. And then since that time, I've now hired my nephew, and I just hired my son. So half the company is, well, not
nepotism.
Half, yeah, pretty much. But then again, we have 110 employees, and there's a great deal are all named Lopez. So that whole family is working there.
It's a family company.
It is. I consider him mi hijo, for you Spanish-speaking people. And that was, brought us in about after the moneymaker effect. I played poker earlier. I would go up to Vegas. My wife. I think it's making static. No homo.
Go ahead.
Do that again. That felt so good. I would go to Vegas, and the only thing I played at that time was 7 stud. There was like $100 buy-in. I could make it last the whole day. I don't know how.
It's a different era.
Yeah, I mean, because this was the 60s, early 70s, and it was only after I saw, I guess, the World Series and Moneymaker, and saw this No Limit Hold'em.
You're like, I could play those cards.
Yeah, I only got 2 to remember. See, that was part of the problem. I was forgetting and not keeping track of the up cards. I mean, they were just whipping more. I said, oh, shit, now I don't know my outs. So, I call. So I went to, hadn't played in any LA casinos up to that point. And so I got my wife to go down with me to Commerce. And she just sat there. It was almost like a typical Asian family. The wife sits there and the husband plays. So she just sat there. And was that racist? And
it's family time.
Yeah.
Filial piety.
She just hung out for a couple hours. I made my $200 last. I think I lost like $50. But I caught the bug. I was playing limit. And then I discovered the bike, which has become my home casino. I just think the people, the atmosphere, and floor and everything is much better, and the casino is much nicer. So this is where I've been playing that. I went up from $100 no limit to
God
50,
knows.
100, whatever
No.
whatever I can play at the time that I feel. Well, I have an edge in no game, so it's not where I feel I have an edge. It's just that people are fun. and it's a good time. I play it, realizing that I may not be a winning player overall. I think, I don't know, because of the tournament I had, that 250,000 score, and I had some other ones that may have evened me out somewhat. But overall, if I lose a few bucks, I consider that my entertainment, so I don't let it worry me. And that's me. Ta-da!
For those of you who fell for that trolling, he's beaten Doug Polk heads up for rolls, left out Ryan Fee, which Ryan Fee owns me. Doug Polk also owns me too. And then he's come in third place in one of the tournaments here, and Esfandiari won that, and Jamie Gold came in second place. And you're more...
That was a mistake.
What? You...
No, yeah, well, yeah.
You should have won, right?
Yeah, well, no, I should have at least been heads up with. I see him in everything else, other consideration. I just went brain farted and made a bad play.
Well, we got a couple of hands coming up. So
lucky me! I can relive my horror.
You're more old school than live at the bike than me. What are your best live at the bike memories? Definitely not that tournament.
Yeah, not that tournament. It was. Now it's a little bit more serious to a certain extent, but back then, when they had the old Upper Plaza in the area, we had a group there that was just really fun to be with, and that's why I play poker, for the fun. That's how I organize my game here. But like one of the things, Corporation Mike, who doesn't play here anymore, one of the things he did was, the whole idea was, it was almost like a second game. You're playing poker, and the second game was to put a bad beat on Mike. And I think I won that like daily, because I would play any two fucking cards for no other reason than to put a bad beat on him. And it didn't matter how much I won, lost. I just wanted to put a bad beat on him. And his mom would play too. Trish was great. And there was this guy, That's Allen. I think he still plays around here. Aaron Queskin played.
Oh, shout out to
Action Mo. And who's a little bit less than Action nowadays, but he does his tournaments. He's come up with some great tournaments. So that was fun. And Mike, one time, I put a beat on him, and we were sitting in the corner where the configuration of the casino was a little bit different, but he took a chip rack and just hauled it across the casino and into the drywall, just like wedged.
That's no problem.
Yeah.
As long as you didn't hit anyway.
And show you the clout, because he was the bank for the casino. It was like, Mike, don't do that anymore. Anybody else would have been banned for life. But so it was fun playing these games with these guys. We would all be drinking. I mean, that's sort of done now. But it was a really good, fun time. Just like the old days when you talk, I'm old, but when you talk about the 50s and the 60s, just a different time in America. It was the same thing in the casino. The earlier days were just a whole different attitude. So that was the fun part.
And you've allegedly played with Doug Polk and Vanessa Selps. Do you think they're twins, or is one a clone of the other?
I actually think it's one person. You've never actually seen them in the same tournament or in the same room at the same time.
That's
I think
true.
It's like Superman and Clark Kent.
That's good.
The only way you can tell them is the hair, which is, like if Clark never took off his glasses, it'd be the same thing. So when, Vanessa, goes into a phone booth to change clothes, she keeps her hair the same, and it's just Doug Polk. That's my take. I mean, I've played them both. I not staked, but I invested in Vanessa once in a heads-up tournament in Vegas, of which I made a total of, 0. So that was, I felt guilty because I also smashed her in Australia with she was like I had a 2% chance to win the hand.
Okay.
Ta-da! I won the hand. I had to get runner perfect. She had flopped a flush, and I had a pair.
You need a runner full house.
I got runner full house. So that was fun. That was the heads up. I came in second, and this Canadian schmuck came in first. In the second year, Carlos Mortensen beat me for the title.
Oh, F that guy.
Yeah, really. I mean, he got lucky because I didn't get lucky at all, but he got lucky on the last hand and sucked out on me and won.
And that never happens in poker.
It doesn't. I mean, I can't even remember the last. Okay, maybe the hand a little while ago, but short of that, that's the thing that you have to remember about poker is a lot of times we only remember the bad beats and the people that suck out on us. But I was thinking about the other day, and it was just we do it as much as everything else, and if you can put that in the forefront of your mind, you'll probably have a happier life. Forget the bad beat stories and stuff. We still tell those just because they're enjoyable. But in the end, we do whatever happens to us, we are doing to other people just as much. And sometimes it's for a bigger pot the other way, and that's why you remember it. But that's where my mind is. That's where my screw up is. I tilt because I feel that I should have won a hand for a reason.
Entitlement.
Exactly. Exactly. What would you know? You're Asian.
Oh, whoa.
This is going to be the most racist broadcast you could possibly imagine today, folks.
So, yeah, I mean, keeping
that same vein, how's the Chinese laundry going?
Whoa. So what are your favorite Live at the Pike moments when you play? We'll just like scale it back a little.
Didn't we just do that question?
No, that was your memories playing, but now your hands, like the ones where you
Jesus.
bad beat people, aside from corporation, like.
God, I don't. I played 20 minutes ago. I don't remember the hands. I'm like.
This is why we're doing this video, because even a day later,
decade.
you're just like not gonna even remember it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm on drugs now, so it's gonna be hard for me to remember just 20 minutes. Favorite hands or anything? I mean, just everybody gets the same hands. I've never gotten like a straight flush or a royal flush against somebody.
No. I mean, did you like just beat someone and you're like, oh, this feels so good? Corporation, like.
Well, I slow rolled somebody once, and not as much as Matt Salzberg does to me, but But you can do that. A, if it's a friend. B, if it's like a chop, and C, if you just don't like the fucker. Just. Oh, dude, I'm really sorry. God, one thing I have this dream of doing these two things. One, like flopping quads, having quads, and letting the guy, turn over, I don't know, full house or some shit. And so I just got two pair, and he starts, two red fours, two black fours. The other one is where I think was it Sean Deeb and Mike Mattisau with the quads that he slow rolled, and Mattisau was ballistic. But to do one where you're you ask him what the count is, and you have him count all his chips. It's like you say, so it's 1,500, or you call, and the guy says, okay, full house. Okay, how much do you have there? Let it without rolling your card. How much do you have? And they got 1,500 for. Okay, because that's what you owe me. And then you turn over your hand, like, bam, motherfucker. So that's my dream of doing. But the best I ever make is like jack high. So I can't get the quads.
Well, you had ace high against Ryan Fees jacks, and you somehow got him to fold.
Yeah, I seriously, even if he didn't know me, who the fuck would fold that? I mean, come on, seriously. He'd already had so much invested in there. I mean, I was hoping he would. I mean, that's why I bet that.
Which god did you pray to?
It's probably my one time, so I'm sort of screwed now. But honestly, that's what I was hoping, but I didn't think it would work. It was best laid plans, and there's.
It's like asking Santa what you want for Christmas. You don't expect it, but then sometimes it delivers. Yeah, it's like whoa.
It was. It was nice. I loved that.
How are you are you good at taking bad beat stories, like when people tell them?
If I like the person, that's telling to me, and there's a subtext there someplace, If it's just some random asshat that wants to tell me a bad beat story, no. But
so you wouldn't make a good casino host. No.
Oh fuck no, Jesus. I'm not a people person. I mean, people hate me, and I hate them. But it's,
I don't know. You're well liked here.
It's I cannot feign. I don't know. Pleasantries with people, like even a host in a restaurant where, let me get you, fuck you, I can't do that. I'm too honest or forthright or
straightforward.
Yeah, say what's on my mind. If you can't take it, blow me.
Literally.
No homo.
No. What are your criteria?
I said live at the bike, no homo.
So you have Barry and Friends games here. What's your criteria for getting in that game?
Well, you have to be worse than me, which there's only like 6 people on the planet, which was why I formed my game. No, how good you are doesn't matter. It's basically I have to really like the person. It's like a home game in the sense that it has to be a lot of fun. So the people I have in there are ones that I enjoy being with and presumably enjoy being with me. Making money, again, is secondary for me. For other people, a couple doesn't matter either. And others are doing for a living. I mean, this week we're having Kenneth James is in the game, and possibly Sorrel Mizzi again. He's in Vegas. He doesn't know if he can drive down. And the normal group, Mark Thompson, who's a actor, voiceover, American Idol voice and stuff. Interesting guy, fun people. They're not. They don't have anything to shill. They're just enjoyable.
Except Bart.
Yeah, Bart will be up there with his CLP and his PKC. Yeah, I may have to block him or something. Put him behind a curtain. And Bart, is a fun, interesting guy. A lot of times he's boring as hell. But and Tuckman, he's out. He can't play this one. Lena Evans. They're
as
interesting
long as it's not
people.
Lona Evans.
Yeah, I've been calling her for a long time. Lena, and I think somebody corrected me. He says Lena. I said, well, then stick a fucking A in there. But right now it's pronounced Lena. So, and she's never corrected me. It's like, we're friends.
That's a
Tell
good
me
friend.
if I'm doing it wrong.
No, it's a good friend. You're like, yeah.
No, but then you introduce her to somebody, and he said, "Oh, I know her. Her name's Lena, asshole." So then it makes me look like, how much of a friend am I if I keep calling her the wrong name?
Right.
Win. No, it's Wayne.
I'm just kidding. No.
And Turbo. I went to Vietnam with him last year. We did some charity work there, and he's an interesting guy, and his story, how he got here, and everything else. So these are the people that I want to play with. So that's how we arranged it.
You have like Mac, you have Nicole Jurgens, and
Aaron Queskin, which I've known for
Shout to the Hangout.
Hangout Bar and Grill. I think he tried my son-in-law's beer, or is about to. He owns a craft brewery downtown LA. Indie Brewing, if you ever want to try a good beer. It was actually here in the Bike when they first opened it up too. So I'm trying to think who else. Mac Verstandig, he's a poker lawyer.
Yeah.
Guy is brilliant to begin with, and he represents all the poker players. He's representing a case now in Vegas, and he represented. Was it U-Stake? Against the SEC, who tried to get them to sit there and said this securities they're selling stuff, and he represented them and won in federal court. So he's brilliant, well-spoken, a fun guy. Matt Stout, if he's not having babies or running his charity poker stuff, will play. So we got some interesting people with stories and who have something more than just poker in their lives.
Right.
So that's what we want.
You mentioned that. And you final tabled a tournament that was on Live the Bike, finished third behind Jamie Gold and Antonio Esfandiari. How was that? Sour.
Low point of my life.
Sour Patch Kid.
I have a habit of doing that, actually. Whether it's cash or tournament, I sometimes don't take enough time, in that when you show the video later, I can explain my thinking. But it was fun to play in the tournament, and I've played with Antonio a lot. I played in his home game, and I played him in Europe in the WSOPE, and he's held over me. There's not a hand I can beat him in. So I would have liked to have gone heads up with him. I would have liked to have won too, but I don't think that would have been possible. What I really regret is playing that last hand the way I did and having Jamie beat me, who I don't think is a nicely better player than myself.
Oh, shots fired. Go ahead. I'm up Jamie on in like a month, so he's going to retaliate.
No, he can say that he thinks he's a better player than me too. These are all opinion.
Everybody thinks they're better than everybody else.
Yeah,
so
he's won the World Series. I have not. So, but he's only won once, and I'm still going for my first time. So
and that's all skill, guys. So, because if I ever get in the World Series broadcast, I don't want to get fired.
That's right, and if you want to learn how to play poker, watch the
world's
main table. You'll learn so much on there, like how to tank with 10-6. God, that Kevin Maas guy. Jesus, I would have literally slapped his ass if he was sitting next to me and did that shit every hand at the.
Slapped his face or his ass? No.
Well, I would have slapped his ass because that's just the way I roll. But yeah, those are the things that are ridiculous in poker, and there's no reason for it. Coming in second or third, it was a disappointment. I thought minimum I should have had second, but then a lot of times when I won the 25K at the Aria, You know, if I didn't get lucky, I probably wouldn't have won that too. I played against all pros for the whole day, and and they're probably all looking like that guy beat us. It's like, and plus it was a rebuy, and I only play the high rollers. Buy for one bullet. I'm putting 50,000 into a tournament. And these guys keep buying. I said, didn't I just bust you out? Yeah, I bought in again. So I'm playing the same people over and over and over. It's like, Jesus. It's like, don't you have a place to go, play once? And that becomes like a $75,000 or $100,000 tournament to these guys.
Yeah, but they say 25K.
Yeah, and then they're just sharing the money and swapping with each other.
So yeah, that's another topic. Like, the all-time money list for poker players is, like, a bit of a scam because, like, only these high buy-in tournaments can net these like high prizes, except for the World Series main event. And a lot of people swap action or they get funding, and it's just like, who's actually like, how much does the guy take home? Did he actually win that dollar amount?
They shouldn't put us the high money winner. It should be who played the cards and the prize was the greatest. Because if somebody's backing somebody for 90%, that unknown player is the one who won that money, not say Antonio, who had a percentage of himself, but the rest was 80% some player. So technically, getting the W2, Antonio won it, but he did not get the $18 million on the stuff. He got $360,000. So it is misleading. And also, my big gripe all the time is Hendon Mob and the other ones put down the tournaments you've won.
Oh, actually, we're on top of this. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
And they don't talk about the buy-ins. I think Daniel, to his benefit, is one of the few or only players that talks about how much he invested to win the amount of money. You win $200,000, but you invested $1 million. You say, oh, you won $200,000 World Series. Good job. So it's a lot of bullshit in the poker world.
Well, not like any other industry.
Hate to burst your bubble, people, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, but people bang the poker world. What about every other industry? Every other industry is messed up too.
Well, yeah, every industry is messed up. But I mean, if you're relying and you're reporting certain things, it should be done accurately. That's the only thing.
Sure.
If somebody wants to say they won 200,000, yeah, 200,000, but I invested 400 or I invested 100. That's fine. Just give all the facts. Sort of like Trump. God, talk about douchebags. Can we talk about Trump?
Oh, we're not supposed to, but
okay.
Let's get into your hands on Live at the Bike. You're gonna love this one. So this one.
Oh, this is Garrett. Oh, yeah. Jesus. Well, this even in retrospect, I wouldn't have done anything different. I hate to say it, but.
Yeah, but just give 2 cents to the audience, because it's like I have to, I think I defended you already, like. I mean, not like defend, like, oh, yeah, he has to do this. But, like, a lot of stuff like Pio Solver and, a lot of other pros said that they agree with your play because the only 2 people you can't really fold against in this field with that move is Garrett and Ken.
Yeah, I mean, that's Garrett I played a few times, and I've watched him other times, and I know of him. And when he does all in, I mean, he's obviously super polarized. And the last time I called him all in, I was correct. And he said, yeah, great call. He examined it and did all this. So he was very complimentary. And now I called him this time.
Spoilers.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. Okay, Garrett races.
Okay.
Garrett raising the hijack, ace queen off, and Barry right behind queen jack off flats.
And during every game, if he's on my right, and when I sat down, he said, "Oh, great, you're a place that you always are." And the last time I was in the seat also, he will raise. If it's unraised to him, he will raise every pot without. It doesn't matter his position as long as nobody has opened it for him. So this was no different than any other time. There wasn't a greater size, wasn't a smaller size. I was to his immediate left. He raised it normal.
And this has happened to everybody. Both you guys flop trips, and one person always has a higher kicker. You guys have totally normal hands. And Garrett bets, and you call. The turn is your doom card. He's got the check mark.
Yeah. I mean, it worried me because I thought, well, okay, he raised, but he could have raised with
King.
He could have raised with anything.
Like 7-8 suitors.
He's going to bet a paired board to begin with. He was the pre-flop raiser. He's going to continue the story. So it didn't convince me to fold the hand at this point.
And of course, Garrett betting here. Had he raised something like ace king, ace jack, ace 10, then now he hits the ace and he bets 700 into 1275 to see what's going on. I just did quotations and nobody can see me except Barry.
Oh,
Barry just
they
calls.
can't see that now?
No. There's
Yeah, that I was sort of happy about. And to the point that I let out because I thought if he didn't have anything, he would not bet. You just see a cheap, slow showdown. And if he did have something, then it was possible that I was doing a smaller blocker bet. He took a while to think about it, and then has he already done it here?
He bets 1,800.
Okay.
Into 26.
Oh, this is
2675. So it's about 2/3 ish.
Yeah, which I thought was a small bet on his part. He could have had ace-king, which he would figure I hadn't raised yet. Why would I have? I should have raised with a queen. He could have had ace-10. He could have had a lot of other. A queen-10. He could have had a lot of. If he had king-queen, there's a lot of other hands he could have had. He happened to have. I didn't put him on aces, which was the nuts there. So the question is, did he have the one hand that could beat me? And I was figuring that he would do the same thing if he had actually ace-king. King-queen.
You could have sevens, king, queen, jacks. There's actually a lot of things that he can have.
Yeah, he raised in position, as he always does in every hand. He could have, assuming he had a queen, he could have queen anything as a kicker, not necessarily an ace. That would probably be the last thing I'd put him on because that's too good of a hand for him to have in position against me. It would be so many other hands that he could have. And with one hand that he did have against all the possibilities of other hand.
Garrett can also have king 10 like stealing, and then the ace comes and he's like bluffing a bit, and then, so. But here's the thing. Garrett goes all in. You have a full house. You have the third nuts. You lose to aces and ace queen, and you beat king 10, jacks, sevens, queen 7, chop with queen jack.
He would have done this with. I'm sure he would have done this with queen 7 too. Figuring I didn't have an ace or a jack the way I had played it, especially thinking about it now. I think the hand was just. I don't know.
It's a cooler for sure. But it's just like. The discussion is, if Garrett bets this much, or person X bets this much, can you just fold the third nuts?
Yes. If anybody but Garrett would have bet this.
I think Ken as well.
Garrett or Ken. And there's a couple other players that we play with, say Berkey.
Yeah.
That I could have folded it to.
Yeah.
But definitely with my history with Garrett and what this went down, his position, my position, what I hit. And again, if I didn't hit the jack, just 3 queens, I would have easily.
You just called.
Yeah.
A lot of.
And just his face when he goes, oh, shit.
Yeah, we've all been there before.
I think he might have thought that I just had a queen-king. I don't think he thought I had a full house. But it...
Just going for the throat, though.
Yeah, it's... he earned it. He played it well. I could have got away with the small $1,800 bets and then just called his river bet and, saved $25,000. But I didn't. And
chips.
To the walk of shame. I'm out. I only brought $30K that day, so I'm out of here.
Oh my jeez. All right, next hand. But people wanted to hear, and I said 2 cents on air, but also just wanted to hear what you say.
Yeah, it's.
There's our boy Ryan Fee. There's the joke better Armenian Mike. There's the ever handsome Barry Woods.
Let's hear it for B-Dub.
B-Dub. Okay, so you got ace, queen of clubs. What?
I do.
What do you just do? He told you not to raise.
There was confusion in the hand because there was like a straddle pot and a limp, and somebody did out of turn, and it went back, so take bets back, and then Ryan puts in his, his raise, and then I'm not sure if it was a 3 or 4 bet at that point because of the straddle and somebody raised it. But it first was somebody had limped at that point, and then Ryan, being the only pro at the table, I just figured he'd, ace-queen was a good hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to 3-bet that, all the time, and especially if there was one limper and then raise. and Ryan happened to have a hand. So
For now.
yeah, yeah. If he
So he makes it let's see a $1,000 chip there. So it's 14. Okay, he 3 bets out of small blind, 1,400. Then there's Josh Macchiello.
yeah,
Folds, and it's back to you.
and then
You're not folding.
yeah,
Just getting the graphics there.
yeah. I'm not folding ever.
Whoa, this is too intense.
And no, I just figured if I didn't have the best hand now, it could become the best hand. Ryan, being a professional, a lot of times you can try to steal a pot if you have a bunch of limpers and dead money in the pot.
Yeah.
So yeah, you put a reasonable bet in.
Definitely not folding ace queen suited here.
Yeah. Not against a small blind raise.
And you 4-bet. So
I'm not sure if it was 4 or 5 bet. I mean, it's
whatever.
Because,
Okay, you re-raise very small. You re-raise very small.
Oh, they have down 4 bet. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you basically re-raised 1,400.
Yeah, it was like a min raise.
Yeah.
Because I think he did 14. I made it 28. I mean, I had a decent supply of chips stacked, but I didn't want to go too big because we still had a flop, turn, and river to do.
Yeah, and there's a difficult spot for jacks.
But I figured, my hand plays well, and want to see a flop. But if he was trying to bullshit me, I'd get rid of him. Okay, the flop comes king, deuce, 5, 2 hearts. Naturally, Ryan, I think, checks it over to me.
Yeah, and this still heavily favors your range, too.
Yeah, I mean, king. I mean, I 3-bet or 4-bet him.
Yeah.
Easily have a king. I'm going to represent that. There's also 2 hearts. So I'm just continuing what I, ace, king, king, queen, king, deuce. And there's a club. So, I got backdoor possibilities.
Yeah, of course.
And Ryan, thinks about it. And, it would be real nitty for him to
fold at these levels, especially,
with our stack depth and with his hand still is a good hand. He also has a jack of clubs, so he has the backdoor possibilities there. 1, 2, 3. No, he does not. How many more cards do we get? 2 or 3?
2 more cards.
2? This doesn't get 3 more on this? Okay, shit.
Not this game.
All right, so he has backdoor shit. So he just has a pair of jacks with 1 overcard. Like the true donkey is, he calls. Okay, a 9 comes, which is a blank.
Pretty
as far
much
as
blank. Yeah.
both of us are concerned. I'm trying to remember. I think I checked here. He checked. I think I checked also. There was no reason to bet it if it didn't change the texture of our hands. If I was ahead, I was still ahead, so I'm not going to keep getting streets of value out of it. They dealt the river at some point. Hello?
It's not Sammy or Magic.
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Now
you river to flush draw.
Yeah, I river a flush draw. There's also a straight gets there if somebody has
jack.
Oh,
so you really were confused that there was one more card coming. I thought you were kidding.
No. Jack Queen obviously got there.
But
I happen to have
usually,
one.
Yeah, most of the time nobody has Jack Queen here. And
really? You haven't seen me play lately?
Oh yeah, that was a completely different pre-flop action.
Yeah, I guess
most of the time.
Yeah, Jack Queen pre-flop. Yeah, probably would not. But in any event, 10 comes, and I still have to continue my story that I have a king, or not knowing he had jacks, something better than jacks. Queens.
You could have rivered 10s full, or rivered, set of 10s. You could have turned a set of 9s. You could have like king, queen, ace, queen, and you're just like, you want to see what happens to, limit the pot, so to say. And your bet was very small, 2,800.
Yeah, I think I down bet it was about the same size as what the turn was. That if I shoved, I think it was when you shove.
It looks more like a bluff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so it was either give up, shove, and hope that he thinks that I'm doing it, for value, or try to put a smaller bet in that that he will read exactly as he did, and that was like the best I could pray for. In the back of my mind, I didn't think that it would work, but it was the only option I think I had that had a reasonable chance of working. I wasn't going to get it by checking, and I think there was less chance of getting it shoving, so the only option left was bet small. Yeah. I could have bet, a couple thousand more, 1,000 more, but I thought if I picked something the same as I had been betting a couple times, 2,800 on the that it might do something.
And to break even with this play, it only needs to succeed 1 out of 5 times, and you break even. So.
Oh, well, in that case.
Yeah, that's
it's a winner. Jesus, I'm a genius.
It's a bargain.
But you'd see Ryan, was real trouble with it. I mean, he's a brilliant player.
Yeah. One of the best to play in live at the play.
Yeah. I mean, he's. He has the that upswing thing, coaching. He thinks through everything and history, and I mean, nobody could examine. I mean, he's like having your own little matrix of push shove things, and because he knows that, and he made what I was hoping, praying to be the decision he made, put me on. But then again, if you look at certain things, any other player, some of them, well, that size bet any other player would have called. But any other player I would have also shoved on instead. If it was, let's say, Iron or Josh or
Wayne.
Or Wayne. No, I give you more credit. It would have to be a big enough bet to get them off the hand. 28.
Where it's not worth it from their point of view.
Exactly.
Whereas in this, you're just throwing a dart on his chart and hoping that it's the right one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's,
I mean, you know of it, and you're just hoping that it hits that right threshold.
Yeah, I mean,
where it's convincing enough.
Yeah, it's it was one of the things that works rarely, but when it does, it's fantastic.
And you get Ryan to fold, and then Doug Polk and Ryan Fee did a video, and Doug made Ryan Fee write in the chalkboard, "I will not fold the Barry Woods. I will not fold the Barry Woods."
100 times on the chalkboard. Yeah, that was that sort of substantiated and validated my play. Yeah, I've talked with Doug and I've talked with Ryan before, and I don't know if they have much respect for me. I have respect for both their games, and that's partly why I like playing pros more than I like playing rec players, because you can, I don't want to say make moves, but you can do things that you can't do against somebody who's a calling station or just, is in there to, like me, just playing.
And here you played Doug Polk, heads up. He just finished beating me, and then you came in and carried the torch.
Yeah, that was a tough game. I had to take him down a notch. Show him that rec players can do something.
Yeah, there's only a couple hands for the rest of the show. Guys, check it out, liveatthebike.com in the archives. And he raised on the button, King 9 suited, which is normal when you 3-bet out of the big blinds, 450, like 3x, and Doug's definitely not folding this hand.
No, Doug, from the first part of the match, he was not folding anything. In the heads up, you generally don't.
Yeah.
I would fold a couple of buttons here and there, but
generally... Yeah, there's some steal situations you might want to fold, but in general, you're not going to fold something you open in heads up. And King 10 still good, but of course, you guys both flop. King high, King 10 high, King 9 high.
And like when I play online now, a lot of times people, if you put a big enough bet in, they insta muck because they were just trying to steal it.
Right.
And when Doug made his raise,
so you made a very healthy bet, 700 into 900.
And it was more to get him off anything that he had.
Yeah, and he's very unhappy, you can tell.
And then he comes back with a raise. Mm-hmm. And I just had the impression, what did he get it up to?
You didn't know you were atheist.
2,000. I just thought there was no real draws out there.
Yeah.
What is he trying to protect? What is he wants the hand over?
Right.
What's he afraid of? Does he have a 3? So at that point I decided, taking some time, that I had to we're deep stacked, so I still had outs if he had something. if he had a queen, why is he raising to that? Let me stack off to him with my races, because he knows how I play. So I decided now was the time to get the hand over with, or show him that I don't think he has anything.
So what you're saying is you have bigger balls anyway.
Pretty much. You can see my hands on it. I'm holding them. It's going deep thought here.
It's better than me, I don't think.
And
actually I had a similar hand with Doug in our heads-up match, and people were saying what I did was outdated. I had 8s on like Queen 6-2 or something like that. But maybe this texture is different. I don't know. People were saying.
What did you do?
I just shipped it just like you did, except
okay.
he had ace queen.
Oh, okay.
Just shows
this only works. Yeah, see the instant falls.
But it's a value bet too. 80 a value bet.
Yeah. No, I don't think I was value betting as much as. Well, actually, I guess I was, because I didn't think he had any of that. So I was,
You can get ace high to fold, and it's also you can't. It's very difficult to just like call and just like.
Exactly. If I call, what am I going to do on the turn?
Yeah.
With any card that comes. So.
And this is something that people screw up all the time, because you're out of position. So when you 3-bet, even if you just call and then the turn comes and he checks behind, he gets 2 other cards.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to take away that free card that he has. And I thought it was a small investment to make. And my actual read was that I didn't think he had anything. And I didn't want king high at some point might not be able to take it. So let me get it over with and move on to the next hand with him.
Next hand, normal hand, king 9 off. You raise it up and oh no, you just call. Sneaky. You think his testosterone's boiling, so you don't want to just.
Well, we were talking back and forth and having a grand old time. And the beginning of the match, he won like every hand for the first like 5 or 6 hands. I mean, I just couldn't win anything. I don't know what I bet here, but
you bet kings and 4s with a 9 kicker, and Doug called queen high, drawing close to dead, and you trapped him here, and you're value betting, and
I think I folded. I just checked the.
I mean, you had him close to drawing down the flop. Yeah.
Yeah.
You bet the flop. He called queen high. You had him close to drawing dead, because he was probably looking at the spades. But I think if he thinks you have the balls to bet on the river, then queen high is no good.
Yeah, a few of these hands, I think you have to set the stage to begin with. You can't let him run over. You can't be constantly folding. You got to do those 3 and 4 bets, even with nothing, just to show that you're willing to do it. And in some cases, even show down a loser, just so that it's going to be a little harder for him to try to make a value bet or a bluff, because you're willing to put the chips in. And I've never had a problem any place putting chips in, obviously. God, we had so many hands that were just notched.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Same with he and I. Just like, and then when you go back and you see, it's just like it's the card. And you like a lot of times when you watch live at the bike, you see like so and so had higher flush cards, and then it comes out and like there's so much variance and luck that happens with the cards that go down.
Yeah, it's and that's one thing after playing 15, 20 years of No Limit, that there's a lot more than you give in the luck and the variance realm that you just don't give enough credit to. It's skill. It's important to have obviously skill, but you best be knowing that there's a fair amount of luck involved, especially heads up.
Yeah.
Or
So you're mixing up with the 3 deuce. All right. And then Doug's just gonna call the big blind. It looks like.
Yeah. Well, there's no way I'm gonna get him off.
Ace high.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get him off ace high.
Yeah.
Pretty sure I don't remember this hand, but I'm pretty sure I don't win it.
Hey, you never know.
Unless a 3 comes. If a 3 comes, I got this.
So you make a small C bet. I like it. You may have to fold something like 10x or 9x.
Now, I don't know if he's giving me credit for just a random small pair, 4s or 5s, and he's still drawing to.
This is something he must have like studied like quite a bit, because like I definitely don't know the answer, and I might do something similar to him, but just like if you raise on the button, heads up, it's so wide.
Yeah.
And you're probably giving up here, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely have to give up.
And he is too, but
Yeah, but I mean, yes. Oh, did he bet out the river?
no.
Oh, okay.
That's
Oh,
what,
he's
that's what,
showdown. Yeah.
yeah, he checked.
Yeah. I'm sure he knows this stuff way better than we do.
Yeah. It's
Every single game has like a lot of, depth and idiosyncrasies, and Doug, who was once the best heads-up player on the internet,
yeah.
has studied a lot, and go to Doug Polk's YouTube channel and he'll talk more in depth about that.
Yeah, I've watched. I mean, I used to play on full tilt and stuff. Heads up. Matter of fact, I used to beat the shit out of Melanie Weisner. For some reason, I just
Bang bang.
that was it's a very small sampling, but especially online, it's very hard to know. You're playing every hand thereabouts. He could have anything. I can have anything. It's heads up is a tough.
Very tough, yeah. And there's a lot of variance, but especially as people get better and better, then it just, gets tougher and tougher. And,
Yeah, I mean, you're just playing hands, and you're hoping that in the end, you're the one that's winning it.
Like you have second pair, he has top pair
Yeah.
here. It's like you guys are going at least 2 streets, and depending on the run out, probably even 3, and like sometimes you just suck out on him.
Yeah, it's nobody's going to fold to a bet with second pair on a 8-7 deuce board, heads up. Nobody's folding a pair, regardless. And that's what it comes down to. A pair is hard to make in Hold'em.
Yeah.
And when you finally get it, now here, against other players and stuff, maybe you could represent something, a queen or a 9 or a straight.
Yeah.
But against Doug, no matter what I would bet on this, he has that uncanny ability to know that his 8's good.
He's got third pair.
Yeah, well, I had fourth, so
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
sort of like with Garrett. Yeah, I had third nuts.
Third nuts.
He had second.
But that's poker. It's like you're always doing a guessing game
Yeah,
of who has what and so on.
and Doug is, it may not look like it, but I'm trying to look at his eyes, his hands, and stuff when he's
No homo.
playing, and I can't get any live tells off him.
Yeah.
His speech. I did in one of the last in one of the hands. Oh God, I remember him, and he was talking to, I guess, to Ryan, was sitting down. It was just like one of the last hands we played, and I had some great hand, and I'm talking to him and everything, and he starts, and at the end he said, what do you want me to do? I said, call. I said, okay, I call. And I beat him. And he starts like, and Barry starts blabbing, stuff. And so he was relying on these reads of me to either talking a lot or not talking.
Ooh, sick. Okay. Yeah. So you got a free card, and then you hit a jack on the turn. Easy game.
Now, does he call me on this
He
one?
probably has to pay you off here. I mean, depending how much you bet, and the pot's really small.
he's
Oh, he value bets. Oh, you probably raise and then you fold. I'm guessing.
See, now, would I do this?
He overbet and you probably raised. You min raised, it looks like.
Raise to 1,000.
Yeah. So you bet 425 and you raised 575.
Yeah, I mean.
Man, that's really good. I don't know.
I have the nuts here. What is the? What am I afraid of at this point? So I don't want to put a big bet in. He's not, he's not going to call.
Yeah.
I've learned sometimes, some cases, bet a little bit smaller, take a smaller one where you can guarantee calling, say 400 or 500, as opposed to 1,500, and thinking that you're over betting like Garrett does, but he got paid off anyhow.
This is actually a really tough spot for Doug.
Yeah, you would have to think that, but then I could have had the 10 if I called him. Could have had a pair of 6s.
Could have had like a wheel draw, 3-4. It's 4-6, 3-6. There's
this is where the sound where he sits there and he's talking to Ryan, and
one play per hand. Oh.
Yeah, he says, "What do you want me to do?" And that's when I said, "Call." Call.
Oh, so it was this hand.
Yeah, I think.
This is a really tough spot on his side. I mean, he's taking his time, but it's like he beats like draws, like wheel draws. And,
that's
and
the only thing.
like
the only thing he beats is.
He also outkicks another 5 too. So if you were just like bluffing and getting him off something, I don't know, it's turn your hand into a bluff.
Yeah, I think it was more, not that I had the 5 that would be the worry, but the wheel draw is probably the most obvious choice. Or if I had a 10, but then why would he have gone that? I mean, you have to in those things.
Oh, shout out to Ray Henson, Antonio Esfandiari, and this is your sad moment where you come in third place. But we'll do some hands. And,
such a fucked up.
Ray Henson from Texas, good buddy of David Baker. Been playing with Ray for
OD Baker?
years. Yep, ODB Baker. So Ray's going to raise it up. I'm going to gun ace jack off. Antonio, jack king off. Just smooth calls on the button. And your nemesis, Jamie Gold.
Yeah, my bud, Jamie. I was thinking about breaking his other Achilles tendon. Because he had his foot all...
Hey, look, he's sporting the U stake already.
Yeah. How else can he get his money to play? Hi, got rent money. You stake me?
And Jamie's going to call. And who is that with the green tie?
Yeah, I also have my poker jacket there someplace. Oh, it's behind me.
Oh, yeah, your Joker jacket. And Barry calls.
King 4 suited, dude. I got, like, flush draws. I got a real long straight draw. If I had 2 boards.
You got a cool jacket behind you. And
boom,
look at that.
There you go.
Top and bottom. Top and bottom, top and bottom. Then, of course, you check.
Yeah, let Antonio bet it. There he goes. Antonio won't miss a chance to bet anything.
Especially not with King Jack on King 5-4.
Well, come on. 4-5 beats him. King Ace beats him. King Queen beats him. King 4 beats him. King 5 beats him.
That's how Moneymaker beat Sammy Farha for the World Series. It's flop 2 pairs against top pair. So you exercise check and raise, which is legal in this casino.
Is it illegal anyway?
I don't know. There's a lot of signs in like random places that say check and raise is legal.
Yeah, I remember because the old days in like the Bellagio when you played, they had signs that you couldn't. I mean that it wasn't acceptable at that point.
Right.
But I did it here because there are draws. I want to get a raise in. I want a free card.
Shout out to 2 scoops and Raisin Bran.
There you go. See, there comes one of the cards that I would be afraid of. Club and a straight card.
Open-ended, yeah, completes. Yeah. Well, also wheel, too.
Yeah. Straight flush. I mean, there's, so I check it.
If he calls the flop, then he must have a piece once that card hits, presumably, unless he's floating. And then Antonio, the expert that he is, rivers the jack.
Naturally.
Professional. You hit a 5 or a jack.
But if I would have bet the turn, he still would have called?
Most likely.
Yeah, 3.
I don't know, because I don't want to predict what Antonio does because he's a very like live read and feel player.
Yeah. I think I pay him off here.
I don't see why you wouldn't. But, I mean, some people want the reads. Oh, you furrowed brow. You're like, yeah. What the WTF?
Yeah.
People are always like, oh, what's the key to poker? Bluffing, GTO, or like exploitative. I'm like, dude, high cards are just better than low cards.
It's just the luck factor. It's just you
high
run like
cards.
Antonio. It's I mean it's crazy how crazy good he is, but also how crazy lucky he is.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing to take away from his talent.
Oh, dude, he's done some spectacular stuff. Like, he's the most terrifying player I've played against when I was, like, coming up in No Limit. Because, like, I'm a young kid coming in for a quickie, so I have, like, no patience. And he's just, like, sitting there, just, like, waiting and waiting for me to make a physical mistake.
Talked to him after the game, after I busted.
Oops.
He says, well, we can talk about it. I said I was going to, after that, 10 came. In the other hand, he says I said I would have gone broke any. I said, no, there's, ways that you could have gone, not done it. And he's always told me that my biggest fault is patience.
Yeah, it's not just you. It's like a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, we don't come there as rec players to sit there and fold hands.
Even pros are just like have or just anybody. Yeah.
It's tough to sit there and for hours and just fold orbit after orbit. I mean, I can't do that.
Check and check. Check and check. You get there. Oh my gosh, so sick. It's just too gross.
I should shove you on.
And now you value bet it. And Jamie actually has a tough decision because he can beat the board. Aces, king, queen, jack.
I think this one.
That was a cool value bet. It's good.
This is one of the things that Jamie does well, that he can fold.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to hand it to him.
He's like, I've played with him like a few sessions, and his table talk is, I don't know what he used to be like, because people used to rip on him like a lot, but he's definitely done pretty well with the table talk, where sometimes I get confused, and like I think he gets extra flack for. I mean, he's definitely way above average player, so I don't know why he gets flack for that.
Yeah.
Like people saying he sucks or whatever. It's like that's definitely not true.
No, I don't think he sucks at all.
He's self-proclaimed like not an elite player, which I don't think I'm an elite player either. Like,
no, none of us.
So yeah,
are.
like there's only so many people who are elite players, but like he's definitely way above average of a poker player.
I don't know how much way above average. He's above average.
Like there's supposedly 600 million people, and this was years ago. Like I think he's in the top 300 million.
Oh, 600 million poker players?
Yeah.
600 million poker players.
I'm just like
he's in the top half.
I would put him at least in the top 5%, and that's even conservative. I think it's probably higher.
Top 5% is
of all
30 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like very, very conservative.
I think you are in the top 5%.
I mean, I hope so.
and you suck. So it's like, what does that say about the rest of us?
Yeah.
What do we got here? Sevens, tens. Jamie is a king.
Jamie just
Oh, and
tries to get.
And see this part, and that's what sort of pissed me off too, because Jamie got really low.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember this actually.
And he ends up doubling up, and he ends up getting, and Antonio's paying him off on all the things. I mean, I wouldn't fault Antonio on the hands that he, either shoves or he calls. They're good hands. They just happen to be second best. And Jamie kept on getting and getting and getting. So I'm saying, God, bust the guy already. So a lot of it was frustration.
There was a very key hand between Antonio and Jamie Gold. I was watching and I was like, whoa. And actually, Antonio asked me what he had. So Antonio flopped top pair aces, and then Jamie had king jack, and Jamie flopped second pair. I don't remember if it was king or jack, but Jamie folded to a flop bet, and that basically saved him.
Wow.
Like he was supposed to at least lose one street, if not two streets, if not three streets on that hand. That's pretty nice, Not flush draw, just have a hammer lock in the hand.
So this bet was 300,000. Yes, I raised it. Raise and take it, the semi-bluff. Thank you, Doyle Brunson.
Better than hitting an 8 of spades on the river, right?
Yeah.
Or a king of diamonds.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, and that's sort of leads up to, the final hand that I have too is, why, some of my thinking that goes into it. A lot of it was frustration. A lot of it was watching Jamie down, up, down, up, down, up. And so I wasn't going to be waiting till,
look at how patient Antonio is.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is so relaxed.
Yeah. It's just crazy, man.
He loses a hand, he wins a hand. It's just like the guy is so chill.
Yeah.
But it was again, this was a fun, we were down to 3, we were playing in the upper area of the bike before the other room set up. And it was, it got down low here. And then, so it was, and that's what I liked about it. It was fun, even though, Jamie and I may not get along, and some of his ridicule and shit that he was blabbing about. Like I called one time, or, and it was like a 3 flush or 4 flush out there, and I called. You didn't even have a spade or whatever. That was like the worst. How could you do? I lost the hand. But, just shut the fuck up. I called. You got my chips. I didn't put you on that. You didn't have that, but you beat me with something else.
But this is why Helmuth does well. It's like he like agitates other people that may not have the cool that Antonio Esfandiari does, and he gets an extra edge like that. So you may not like him or whatever, but that's his game. And there you go. This is a monster here. You got a pair and a flush draw.
Yeah, good. Check it, Wiz.
Ooh, that's your money card, the ace of spades. You have a flush, and he has top pair.
Yeah, I think this is the one. Plays it with a min raise, a little conservative. I mean, I guess he maybe he wants to see if I have a flush or something. Straight out there, I don't know. Just has an ace with a shitty kicker. But he, after my push, he obviously thinks that his ace is high. Which I don't know if I don't think if I or he bet that, as bad as I am, I don't know if I would have called for essentially my tournament life by just hitting the ace with a bad kicker with a 3 flush and a straight out there. That's a tough choice. I mean,
this is what tournaments, these key decisions.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to see after the fact.
Yeah. It's not like you're not capable of bluffing, too.
Right. It's
definitely not easy in his spot.
Yeah, he needs to take the time and.
Like repositioning the needle. Yeah, you're drawing dead, by the way.
So why don't you just skip the 5th card? We don't need it.
You should just no, that's the wrong angle. Just flip it as A7 like that.
Okay, and this.
And now Jamie Gold is just super short.
Yeah, and then what happens is he just keeps going back up again. And
yeah.
then, I still had too many chips to do what I did, and that was. I mean, can you think back times you played tournament or cash game where?
Oh, I screw up all the time. I mean, I just know, and like
right after it happens.
Yeah, literally the second it happens, and like when you see the cards, and it's just something like you slip up, like you didn't think of something, and then of course they have like a certain hand, even though it's a complex hand. It's like, oh, if I only just like thought about that just a little bit longer, I would have considered it more.
Well, and then the question is, would you have made a different choice? I mean, sometimes you can overthink the hand.
Yeah, like some hands, it's just like your hand with Garrett, Queen, or the Queen's full of jacks and it's Queen's full ace. It's just like, okay, you already thought it through. It's Garrett Adelstein, right?
Yeah, I mean, what else am I going to think about? Either he has it or he doesn't. The betting and everything else, I've already gone over that, and it's Garrett. I mean, it should have been a 3-second decision. Does he have it or doesn't he have it? It's as simple as that. And some of these ones on that one, I don't know what Jamie could have thought about anymore, the betting. But, I mean, it was a tough decision, but there was a lot of stuff that beat him out there.
Sure, yeah. But the thing is, like, you're capable of bluffing. And like
I am, but would I have bet, since he had me covered slightly, would I have bet my whole tournament on a bluff on that point?
So here it's, I was surprised ace-9 was so far ahead, ace-7, but, now you guys need to hit a 9 or sorry, Antonio needs to hit a 9.
Why is it not even showing a chop there?
What do you mean?
Ace and 8 with it, because it would be showing.
Oh, Antonio hits a 9 and he wins, but there's no card that you can hit. Or Antonio can hit a jack as well, sorry. A jack or a 9 and he wins. But you faded it.
That's where he, Yeah, I would call here 100% of the time, too. Especially third pot size bet. But this is where he raises it.
Sneaky.
Is that to get me off at chop?
What'd you say there? What'd you say?
There?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I might have asked...
Service. Cocktails.
I think it was... How much? It was 1 million more?
600,000 more. He raised to 1 million. You make the correct call to chop it up.
See, this doesn't change his demeanor. Doesn't get irritated.
No, I know. I've known him for like 20 years. Just this wry smile. Oh, tried to get you.
Yeah.
You didn't fall for it.
Now the question is if I would have re-raised him, if I would have had the balls to do that. But coulda, shoulda, woulda. Or woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah, then when you see the whole cards, you're like, damn it. And it's like, after you play on camera and you see your opponent's whole cards too, you're like, man, you just like rethink your entire life. You're like, oh, did I play good or did I play bad? Oh my gosh, like I'm just literally the worst of all time.
Exactly. I mean, we all think the same thing. See, he only has, 1-3?
Yeah, you look like you're getting impatient.
It's, we'd been playing a long time, and, I have to be next to Antonio blabbing.
Dude, I like when he talks to me at a poker table, I'm terrified. I just don't even want to say a single word.
Yeah, I wish I could tune out more of the people. I mean, I would have been arrested for murder if William Kassouf had been next to me at any point in anything.
I don't think he's that bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm in the minority, obviously.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, what part is constant, or just it's humorous, or what do you find?
I just don't care because like we're from major cities, like we hear like BS all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm just like this is just a normal day.
Yeah.
So Jamie's got like 1.44 million. So you just want Antonio to just like crush this guy.
Yeah. And whatever, the hands, Jamie takes it down and just increases his thing another third, 15%, 20%. So, and that,
Oh, Jamie go with the avocado shake or, I don't know, green kale something.
Yeah, this bullshit, this healthy.
Look at this guy.
crap.
Dude, he's freaking like Buddha over there. He cracks his knuckles. These guys are going to punt off soon.
Wife is there, and he talks to them all, and how are things going? Everything's fine. Hi, sweetie. Shut the fuck up. Know you're happily married. You got a kid, 2 now. Okay, Jamie, what do you got? 9-8. That's sort of a, you're short stack, but it's sort of a weak fold. See how weak a fold I do. Oh, good, you call. Come on, call, Woods. Call.
Your favorite, your huge favorite. It's better than Queens against Ace King.
I can't even believe I got the flush going. I can't believe I'm that much of a favorite. Maybe if it was all Suf, it'd be much less. He makes straights. He's got 2 connected cards.
Oh, easy game.
That's works out pretty good. See, I don't know why he goes ahead and bets.
Well, see bet, try to take it.
But unless I don't know. I mean, 100% of the case, a player's going to be calling there with a paired board, and then he goes for a second time.
Well, he's not perfect.
No, it's I mean, whatever he does, I'll start copying it. But he's got no hand, no draw, no flush, no straights, no pair. I forget the fact that he was dead on the flop, but
he needed like runner straight.
yeah, it's.
You're doing good. You're taking your time. He's got to give up now.
I think I have to bet the river because he would. Oh, he's button, so he's going to act first. Or do I? What am I?
You're the big one, so
on
you're
the big, I'm
acting
acting first.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I have to bet because he's not going to. He would just check it down if I called him on two straights. But he has nothing.
Yep.
So.
But he can bluff raise you.
He can.
That's people always forget, but it's less of a thing now.
So having played with me, the question is, does he think I'm bluffing?
Yeah.
Or, since he doesn't have a pair, if he had a pair, let's say he had a 7, he had a set on the river, would he call? Because the only thing he loses to is a jack, essentially.
Right.
I wouldn't value bet 8s or 9s, and he's, if he had one of those with a 7, 8 or something, that blockers. But I don't know for almost $3 million if he thinks.
It's just an interest. Again, people overlook wheel spots. So if Antonio had stole with ace 5 or ace deuce, or you defended with ace 5 and ace 3, then that's definitely a reason to continue for both hands to the river. And you're like, yum, 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 yum.
Yeah, I'll definitely continue to the river because of the texture of the board. But on the river, with the holdings, I don't think it's that much of a, because, straights missed. Everything missed if I was on a draw.
Yeah.
So either I'm bluffing or I have the jack. And if I'm bluffing, I could have a queen or a king or an ace. So he's still behind those. Oh, this is it. This is what says an aneurysm.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Oh, this is where I win. Now I do, normal.
It's normal, yeah.
Small blind, big blind. I
have a very strong hand.
Yeah.
Wrist blind.
It's not one that I would fold or limp or anything. It's actually over. Now comes 2, 3, 4.
Oh my gosh.
I
nice
miss,
life.
And Antonio flops a pretty decent hand.
He has what's known as the wheel. It's got
Yeah.
smooth draw, earthy tones, enough kick to win the high and the low.
And again, I have a good hand, and I'm sitting there saying, well, maybe he has a pair, and I still
This is so hard to
two
play.
overcards.
Oh no, that's your doom card.
And there I hit a king. Now I check. Still giving Antonio a chance to bluff if he had a 4, like he's been doing the other ones. He doesn't hit anything, and he bets. Yeah. Or he has a bottom pair, and he hits. Or any pair. So now he bets again. So, with the straight draw out there, he could have 4, 5. He could have ace 3, ace deuce, ace 4. So a pair and a straight draw. Based on the chip stacks and stuff, I should not obviously have done what I did, but
yeah, I think you should have check fold on the flop. But as is, there's no way you're folding a king in this spot on this board.
I think the flop was fine. The turn is where I blew it completely, and then
and the needle.
Yeah, so I think I would have lost a lot there. Now Antonio said that it wouldn't have been everything, but. I would have lost a lot more than I could have lost a lot less.
1, 2. Yeah, you could have just lost 2.5. I guess I don't know. Your river top 2 pair. There's just you're going broke there 100%.
If I would have checked, let's say he just puts a small bet in on the river, and I now have 2 pair. Mm-hmm. The only thing essentially, forget sets. If I'm losing to sets, and I'm losing to ace 5. And
5, 6. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, straights. Yeah. Okay, ace 5, 5, 6, and a shitload of other hands. Yeah. Set of deuces, 3s, 4s. Set of kings, set of 10s. Possibility, even though I had one of each. So the question is, if I pushed with my king, it's probably my stupidity. I would have, done it on the river with king 10, figuring, oh, he's not putting me on runner. He'll call, and I get the chip lead. So I might have done that too. Though, a good player would have just, not played for stacks.
You're going broke the hand. The only thing you could have done, I think, is check fold the flop. I mean, if you see bet the flop, obviously he's continuing, and then you're trapped in the hand anyway. The only way you're not going broke in the hand is if you check fold the flop. Because if you continuation bet the flop, he's calling, you hit a king, then you river 2 pair, you're going broke 100%.
Yeah. And it would have been really nitty to, on a 2-3-4, I raise pre-flop, he calls, to think that he has that to, fold the flop. So.
Wow, chat's gone crazy. Let's answer some questions in chat.
Oh, Barry, you've done such a wonderful job. You played those hands perfectly.
said
no one ever.
No, I mean, actually, you play a lot of hands. Like, I was going through a lot of your hands, and you have so many hands with, like, high-profile players, and you've done really well against.
I do well from time to time, and like I said, I much prefer, contrary to standard opinion, is I much rather play pros and really good players. Everybody says, no, you're an idiot. You play bad players. But bad players you cannot play against because they do not play GTO. They do not even know how to spell GTO. So you're not going to get value. They're going to be calling stations and stuff. So I'd rather play somebody I know, which is a pro.
We're going to take a call. This is Live at the Bike. You're on with Barry Woods and
Wayne.
Hello, it's Barry Woods.
Hello.
Barry Wood there.
Speaking.
Hey, Barry, you know who this is?
Sounds like Mo. Sounds like Mo.
This is Scammy. This is Scammy Sammy Tarani. This is Scammy Sammy, Barry. I took your money.
Yes. Sammy, can I have my 40,000, please?
Fuck you, Barry. This is Scammy Sammy. I took your money. I took all your money. I rubbed on my titties.
Yeah, and I'm sleeping with your daughter. What else?
Oh, yeah. Fuck you, Barry Wood. You cannot afford. You have no money. I took all your money. I Scammy Sammy Tarani. I took all your money. I took all your money. I rubbed on my titties, Barry.
You could never take all my money. I have too much for you to take. You would not be able to lift it.
Fuck you, Barry. I scam you again. I just keep scamming you till there's no money left. I never stop scamming you. You don't have no clue what I can do to you. I'm the master scammer in all world.
Okay.
Got his phone number, though? Let's call him back.
You want to call him back?
No, save that number, though. I want to know. 32, okay. That's in case anybody doesn't know. It was all over there. Scamming Sammy Tarani, who plays still and can't do it. I have a judgment against for like $40,000 because I backed him in a tournament which he never played, and then didn't pay the money back. Pays his other backers and stuff. Won't pay me, and so that's where that story is. Never loan poker players money. What can I tell you? I'm a soft spot.
Let's see. Yeah, nobody's got any questions. They just want to talk trash about us.
Oh, that's like, standard.
Oh man, they're ripping on your hair now.
Let me see this shit. Put it over here. I want to see what these fuckers are saying. I can't see this after I played.
Here we go. Let's see. It's WTF is that suit Barry has on?
What the fuck is that suit? Oh, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
That was my poker suit, fucker. Jesus. Get paid for my hair.
OMC is Old Man Coffee. Barry got the hair any Old Man Coffee pints for. I'm just. I
don't know what
this is a chat.
It's interesting you guys really care about poker so much.
It's awesome.
What's lobster shit? Jesus.
Where?
These I don't know, lobsters. I mean, the
How's
people. You would think that there'd be a higher than a 7 IQ for these people who watch.
Hey, you're crushing it though. You had one of the highest viewerships for the show, because that's why I begged to get you on.
12? Oh, 4.
Oh no, it was higher before.
Okay.
But anybody know well, how much did you win? Come on, that's got to be consolation prize.
What in
the tournament? Yeah.
I think it was 107,000.
Easy game.
Yep. Of course, nobody wants to talk about the $250,000. Fuck yeah, just talk about my hair.
Ooh, shout out to Upswing and JJ De La Garza.
Oh, fuck him. Gotta talk about a loser. Jesus. JJ, how's it going? What's up? Blue Lobsters. What the
Nick
fuck?
Nick from Ripwayne's laptop. What's going on? All right, we're taking phone calls, guys. You see the number on the bottom. It's Barry Woods. You're never going to get another chance to hear this one. So.
Yeah, pretty much. What's the most ever made on a storage unit purchase? What the fuck is that?
I don't know. It's for you.
I must look like somebody that's in one of those storage things. Barry beating Vanessa Selpson. Yeah, that was a badass moment. That was, I think, the quarterfinals or semifinals. Yeah, I love that.
Oh, you got a compliment here. I wish Barry was my
grandfather.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that. I mean, you might be 40 years old, which make me like 200. Or he's hoping I give him money.
If you guys have any questions, spout them out in the YouTube or the Twitch chat. Benny80 said, which poker players actually consider themselves elite? I mean, who the top poker players are in a certain generation is, like, kind of known. I mean, they're battling the highest stakes and they're, like, winning. And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you got Chidwick, is by all accounts. I mean, Doug Polk.
Yeah, in their prime, but, like,
yeah.
you know, like...
Even now, see, part of the problem with these elite lists, I mean, they're great poker players, and you have to base it on talent, not by money won, because of the way that the players back each other, stake, share. They're not all playing as if it was their own money. When you have four of these guys, you got Schindler, and when I was playing in the 25K, they're all buying in 2 or 3 times, and they outlast the amateurs or anybody else doesn't want to put in make it a $100,000 tournament. Yeah. So they become the last 3 or 4 players. And some of them they end up chopping it. So they can put 100,000. They know they're getting that back because 2 or 3 of their mates are in the same thing. So in these smaller tournaments and the elite, real tough, super high rollers, they're good players, but the money is a whole different animal because it's not, for all intents and purposes, it's not theirs. It's not their own money.
It's just not, yeah, like real, like the all-time money list, obviously they're not losing lifetime, but they can be if they dumped in like whatever, 100 million and then wind up 50 million.
It just makes it a little bit difficult to judge elite player if you're trying to do it based on earnings, because it's what's the word? It's
return on investment.
It's not realistic for what is actually happening. But on the good players, you know from watching shows that are really what's his face?
They're just battling
Fedor,
yeah.
I mean, these are the players that are really, really
studied, practiced.
Yeah. Ike Haxton.
Right.
I honestly don't. Helmuth, as good as he is, for some reason I don't put him up in the elite players, and I may be in a minority.
I mean, he's good at tournaments with these fields who, like, the thing is, when the difference between high stakes poker is you're playing the same people over and over again. Helmuth's advantage is when he plays in these massive fields and he gets like random people to just like blast off, which like his speech play doesn't work on, you know, veterans of the game, so to say, or people who have been around. And that's just, you know, what he's good at, so to say.
Agreed. And I think most of the pros will admit that he is probably a loser, and I'm just repeating things I've heard, a loser in cash games. Mm-hmm. That he's great in tournaments, but when they say yum yum when he's going to play in a cash game with them. I've never seen him on an old high stakes come out winning, and that's again a small sampling. Yeah. He may be much better than my perception of him. But there are those, and he's more old school than the ones that are 30 and below. And what's his face? Who last year? What's his name? Did his hair red?
Justin Bonham.
Yeah, I mean, he's phenomenal too.
Yeah,
unbelievable player, brilliant guy. And these are the guys that are the elite players now. And even if they don't win, and Dan Smith. I mean,
Dan Smith.
I beat Dan in the heads up in Australia twice, And does that make me an elite player? No, that's where luck obviously comes in again, and getting some good cards, and luckily playing them well. So, for a moment I was an elite player. I beat an elite player.
It's just like when people have stuck around like the highest stakes and they just constantly survive, then you earn your bearings to be nominated, so to say. And I keep telling people like what you see on camera is like nothing, like compared to like the real high stakes world.
Yeah.
And there's higher stakes played also with like limit hold'em, 7-card stud, mixed games, and pot limit Omaha. It's just like no limit hold'em is just a very small piece of the high stakes world.
Exactly. Now, a few years ago it was almost strictly no limit. Now it's turned the tables, and now it's actually mostly the mixed games that they play.
Even
and now add short deck into that too.
yeah,
now.
I mean even live, I don't think no limit was necessary. It was consistent after the moneymaker boom. There would be like 10, 20, 20, 40 tables at Commerce, but the highest stakes weren't necessarily no limit, or at least they don't last too because people just bust too fast.
You go. That's
But
what,
the mid stakes was consistently after the boom, no limit, and now it's back to limit hold'em, like pre boomish. G Thanks says, Barry, you're one of my all-time favorite players to watch. Never change. See?
you need to set the bar a little bit higher, dude. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Wee Dammons, what do you think in poker is cannon rushing? It's probably like folding out and letting people bust in tournaments. Answered how much a third pay. Benny, Barry and Wayne have a nice vibe. Yeah, no homo. Oh, you guys are so chicken. You talk trash to Barry and you won't even call in, or you just...
Yeah, it's easy to talk behind a computer, fucking pansies. Come on, lay it on me. What do you want to know?
Yeah, ask him questions. Come on.
No, I'd never professed to be a great player by any stretch of the imagination. Average or slightly above average. I've, done done well in some things, and I, spew off money other times. But again, my reason for playing is I want to have a good time and have fun at the table, and where I want to wear my funny clothes or my fucking hair, and it's entertainment. And if you guys are entertained, then I've accomplished my job.
Here, you got a question. So, Goodwin asked, Barry, could you share a key moment at the beginning of your poker career and some advice for us?
Beginning of my poker career and some advice. Well, the advice that I gave at the beginning is
Don't play.
Yeah, don't call it a career. You're not going to succeed for all intents and purposes at it. Have it as a hobby or as an extra thing to do for extra income if you want, or if you have some disposable income that you can get rid of. But if you go into it, I'm going to quit college, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to become a professional poker player, then you're sort of destined to lose your way. You need it. It's always been a game. Back in Doyle's day, yeah, that's what they did. They traveled from Texas town to Texas town. You got Maverick, in the Old West playing poker. It's different nowadays. You need, it's like NBA players and stuff. You go to college or high school and you think your career is going to be in the NBA and that's all you're planning for. You're going to be for a rude awakening when you find players better than you, or you get hurt and now you're screwed. And in poker, they're constantly getting better. There's a new variation coming in. So you need to be prepared and treat it as, if you can make a shitload of money at it as an avocation, then great. Then think of it as a job, but still keep it as an avocation and have something else going for you. As far as...
diversify your bonds. Wu-Tang Financial.
Exactly. You want to have a backup plan, plan B.
Mitsuomi Takayagani says, Barry, did you play in the World Series recently?
I did not. Last 3 years, I have twin grandchildren, a boy and a girl, Max and Eleanor. Shout out to them. And because my daughter-in-law is a teacher, we can take summer vacation for the whole family, my kids and all the grandkids, during the summer at a certain time. And that's the last 3 years. It's been during the World Series. That's why I played like one event, because we go the end of June through middle of July. So I mentioned it last year, or I mentioned it this year, that next year I'd like to see if we can change that around, so we're going to see. Otherwise, there's a lot of other tournaments to me. The Wynn, the Venetian, they have some great tournaments during WSOP that have really good structure, a little bit softer field. Yes, you don't get a bracelet, but all you people looking at this, I guarantee none of you have won a bracelet. So what are the odds that you're going to get a bracelet? So play something that doesn't have the prestige, but you actually have a chance of winning, and it's a good tournament. And so that's why I love Aria, Win, Bellagio, the Venetian for tournaments. If there's some good ones, I'd like to do. I can't play the seniors or super seniors because I'm not going to play on Father's Day because I have family.
Sure.
And I even mentioned it to all the people in charge at that, and they said, well, that's when we get the grandfathers. And I said, well, if the guy really has a family, he's going to spend the time with that and not go to Vegas and play in a freaking poker tournament with a bunch of old farting men. Yeah, well, apparently I'm wrong and they're right, but that's not the first time I will have been there. So I'd like to play in a couple next year, so we'll see.
Danso Graphic Ocean says, I remember Barry from way back in like 2005 and Live at the Bike playing with Mo and those other regulars. We never see anymore. I also saw him in some Howard Letter poker camp thing.
Yeah, that was the beginning of my poker career, probably 2004. There was Howard Letter had a poker camp at the...
This pre-full tilt?
Pre-full tilt debacle. At I think it was the Palms, and you paid X amount of dollars, and I have pictures of me playing with Annie, playing with Howard's father, Andy Block. So we had tournaments, and we had classes and stuff, and it was fun. I don't think and Ferguson was there, gave classes, and I don't really think I picked up much, but it was like at the beginning of your poker career, so great, I get to be one-on-one with these people, and how many times do you actually get a chance to be with 3 different scammers one-on-one? So it's like really neat. Got me ready for Sammy. So yeah, that was a thing, that poker camp.
Gerard Fabiano says, Barry, want to play with me for the tag team event next year at the World Series. Thanks, man. Big fan.
I appreciate it. I'd rather see you win it. They did have one that was going to be a tag team, but it was going to be 10,000. I think they didn't have that this year. I think they had it 2 years ago. When I play, I try not to, for all intents and purposes, not play $1,000 and $1,500 events. I like the 25, 3, 5, 10, 25. In fact, I wanted to play the 50 this year, but I think it was the day after I got back from Hawaii, so just not set up for it. Again, that goes back to my reasons to play poker that are fun and that are playing with better players than just the random people that will push all their money in and get lucky on me. I want to play poker. I don't want just
show fast.
Flips. Yeah. So contact me later in the year through Live at the Bike or something, and I can see if the schedule allows and if it happens to be higher than $1,000 buy-in.
Debo 30, did you earn your money in the movie business, Barry?
Yeah, I run a bunch of porn shows with cheap girls and hookers and blow. No, I did not. I run contracting companies. We do work mostly for city, county, state agencies in California, Arizona, and Nevada. And that's what my business is. I've been doing that for 43 years, I guess.
Snuffer Bottle says, how many cats do you have?
At my age, there's not a lot of pussy I get. So I have no cats. I hate them. I have a beautiful boxer dog. I've had boxers my whole life, and they're great dogs.
Jamemi 173, Barry, you're a goddamn legend. Thanks for doing PokerCraft.
There you go.
I had to beg him to come. No,
I'm happy to help Wayne out. I love Live at the Bike. I mean, a lot of people have something against either. Whatever it is, I've been a fan of it since they started, when Tuckman and Bart and Shirley Rosario, was on. I mean, it's been great. It's improved every year, and if you know what they have to go through here, you would appreciate it also more than just all the criticism they get. And with Wayne doing his thing here too, it just adds another dimension to just games. They're giving you a lot for what you're getting. So
we want you guys to get to know the players, on Live at the Bike, not just like this guy sucks. It's like these guys are like real people.
That's what when you watch a live, poker tournament or a live. Poker After Dark or something, and you know a little bit about the players. You can identify with them, you sympathize with them, a little bit.
Yeah, and you're just rooting for.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're just we're not just avatars on the.
Do
on
not
the screen.
tell me this stream was not funny, dude. You guys must be laughing at us. Like when I tell jokes, like I'm almost like, oh, because I don't get like an audience response, and people are like, oh, damn, that was funny. I'm like, man, why don't you tell me something in the chat, man? Like I don't even know.
Yeah, let Wayne know. Give him some props for what he's doing here.
Come on, man. I'm like really sad.
Okay, I want to see ones if you love Wayne on this show. 2 if you want him hit by a meteor in the parking lot. Let's see him. 1s or 2s.
3 for both.
Yeah, 3.
Ivan Miller says very hilarious, dude. Boot camp. I don't know. She has
Some random shit.
no, yeah, that's just the way it is. But
KJ, I hate cats. Who the fuck asked you? For today's okay, who's Jay? Oh, there's a game tonight. What is this?
no, we were playing hands, and they thought, oh, there's a game tonight.
Oh,
no, we punked you. We slow rolled you guys.
Oh, it's one way to get people.
Oh, there we
on
go.
here.
Thanks.
There
More
one and
ones.
2,
There's like 3 ones.
Okay, then it's number 1. It takes less to type 1 than it does to do WON.
Oh, Boba Fett, guess what? You're getting mixed. That's what you get. That's how we run a Tyrant.
Well, I didn't see what he had said.
Oh, he just said 2. Oh, some people want me to get hit and laugh. All right. Oh, Jeff Marcel, 1 for the hairline. Oh, you're getting booted. All right. If no one's going to call in, nobody has any questions, then we're going to wrap it up so Barry can go degen it up. And,
no, I'll probably just
his
have
hands
a
are shaking.
3-hour drive. Oh, Jesus, 7:45?
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right, dude.
It's going to take me 2.5 hours to drive back home. So.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it, and thank you for the fans and for the non-fans.
Keep coming back to live at the bike.
I appreciate the compliments and the criticism. And if you seriously something I can do better, I'm open to suggestions. Whether it's a poker player or anything else, you learn from other people, and if they're in your circle of acquaintances, whether it's me or your own friends, share what you know. It's the only way people improve in life.
Yeah. All right. Tune out, guys. Peace.
Thanks.
Later.
Later.